Good evening and welcome to this special thank you episode of May the Power of the Force, where myself and Allison, are basically just going to say thank you to everyone that helped this month do what it did. So, Allison, thank you for joining me. How is everything going?
It's going well. It's very exciting that it's over, like in a good way, but also in a way like, whoa, that was a lot of work, you guys. So
It was way more work than I had anticipated. I fully understand why Hooded Cobra Commander kind of doesn't want to do it anymore for what is
was
he
it
doing?
Cobra Convergence?
Yeah, Cobra Convergence. It's nerve wracking. I think once we've got the first week done and we had people actually posting videos, it turned out well.
Yeah, no, like it's 31 days of content with many different creators. I think it went really well. And everyone who participated, like really, we got like no two people did the same video. So it was really cool for me to see like all the different styles, all the different approaches to it. It was really fun, like to see people get to be creative and have fun collecting. Well,
Yeah,
like it was, I don't know, I forgot how much I used to love Power of the Force 2, and between doing my video and just seeing everybody doing their videos, I'm like, Power of the Force 2, like, despite some of the questionable sculpting of it, was actually a pretty fun toy line. It was like, toys were fun.
we make fun of it, and I'm with you 100%. It became like you're just like this is fun. Like I like this line. And if I wasn't so into everything that I'm collecting now and not having room, I would probably be like Aaron the Toy Enhancer and start picking some stuff up because the molds aren't bad. They're fun. And they're still inexpensive. Even
Yeah.
for the vehicles and stuff.
Well, I ended up picking up a few items that I then cut. I was like, this video is going to be an hour. It's too much. I'll just save a bunch of this for a part 2 video. But I picked up everything I got for it, including I got the entire set of the Princess Leia collection mint on card, because I don't have the mint on card ones in front of me. They're like in storage. With most of my Power of the Force 2 stuff is in storage, and it was unpacking everything, like I didn't want to deal with it, so I just bought it. But it was like I spent maybe, with shipping and stuff, maybe $60 to get the whole collection. And I ended up picking up a green card, the first Leia that came out, oh, she fell. Anyway, she was right behind me, but she jumped off the top of the stuff. But I got one on a green card because I didn't have the green card anymore. I had opened it. I was like, I don't need this green card with a holographic sticker. So I bought one so it can go up on the wall.
We all need our green card.
Yeah, we all need our green card because
So let's just talk about our percentage.
Yeah.
So out of 31 questions, we got 28 right.
Right.
I'll let you guys do the math on that one. There was 2 extra credits.
Yep.
Aaron and Darren.
Yeah. And then Corey at Make Shape Create did some custom Motu inspired by Power of the Force.
Yep.
So we got again, like we got a really nice variety of stuff and styles. And I will say, for the most part, the videos that didn't happen, like at least one of them were due to the computer in question sort of crapping out. And, computers just spendy. So I don't feel like the people who...
No, we don't let people off on this one. So we're just going to tell what questions we got wrong.
Okay.
1 would be Ostradamus. 2 would be Matthew Matson, my own moderator. But at least they At least they put an answer in.
Right.
Unfortunately,
I saw bits of Oz's video. He and because Ken helped him with it, so they had both shared parts of it, and like it would have, once Oz has his computer stuff fixed and the video's done, it'll be a nice like, hey, you guys remember last May when we all did this thing? And so,
but the third answer we got wrong was speaking moistly. He didn't even put anything in. Like he didn't even put the wrong answer in. He didn't put boobs in as the answer or nothing. So in the end, I think that we got a pretty good percentage. It was difficult. And again, if we would have known, I guess if I ever did something like this again, I would definitely try and get more than 31. But I think pushing 31 was difficult.
I think this was a good first year. I mean, and I'm going to say right now, next year is the official 30th anniversary of the Power of the Force toy line. So
I didn't even realize that.
Yep, 1995, 2025, 30 years. So this was a good opening. What did they call it? An opening volley, like in volleyball or whatever. Or warning shot, whichever you prefer. This was good for the first time. Next year we know what needs to happen, and we'll have a better sense of it. So you guys, Aaron, the toy enhancer, if you're watching this, just keep on buying that Power of the Force too. You're gonna need it next year, next May.
Well, I would probably like to try and do something maybe different from Star Wars.
There's that too.
Because I think we were gonna run out of Power of the Force to do, but we have a whole year.
Over 200 figures.
But we have a whole year to discuss. Well, we have 11 months. But quickly, I want to say hi to everyone that is here.
Let's do it.
So quickly, this guy came in, Red Dead Rich, and you know what you get now when you do this.
Welcome to the creamery.
So Red Dead Rich, who I'm not even sure if he's here right now, but we have Andrew Davis is here. Let's get ready to rumble. Krusty O'Crow, Woody 222 is here. Over on Allison's, we have 3-star draw from over on Allison's. Pop Blender. We have Todd C, who's over on Allison's. We have Grizzlehorn. Same Time Toys. What's up, everybody? Let's see. 3-star. This month was great watching different people who collect different things all come together for Power of the Force 2. I agree. That was my favorite part of this, is watching different people do stuff, and watching a lot of people get out of their comfort zone, because they're like, it wasn't something real. You weren't trying to get 1,000 or 2,000 subscribers, or views. What I mean.
Right. This wasn't about chasing a trend. This was obviously nobody was going to have the figures before everyone else.
Yeah.
The goal here, like one, it was kind of spiteful because there was that person complaining about, why am I seeing all these old reviews of these old toys? And you know me, I'm a little spiteful, but in a fun, sassy way. And I was just like, F that dude. So here we are at the end of 31 days of spite, but for a good cause. So see, guys, spite can be good if you use it properly.
And again, like watching, a lot of people don't make content.
Yeah.
So it was a chance for you to start if you wanted to, and do it anyway. Have fun with it. Do it serious. Just to break your mold, to try and do something different. If you are doing content, maybe you're a smaller channel and you were working, and it's like, hey, everyone is kind of pointing at you. So hopefully you were able to get some subs, but some of them were just so good. And again, whether or not someone's was better than someone else's, it was all about just kind of putting the work in and everything.
I think it was all
everyone did.
To me, one person being better in this case is very subjective, because everyone was bringing their style, what they do to it. So I had fun with all. I don't think there was a one. There are 2 or 3 that I missed in the midsection that need to go back. and catch those. But otherwise, so I can't say they were all great because I haven't seen those 3, but of all the other ones, well, 6 counting the 3 that didn't happen, but whatever.
We're still waiting.
That's as salty as I'm going to get about that, guys. But for the rest of them, like I really just liked, again, I like seeing everyone's style, and it's a lot easier to get, for me, a sense of everyone's different style because we were all doing the same toy line. And it was like Star Wars, it was Power of the Force, it was like 1995 to 1999, it was that window. So it was like we're all basically playing in the same sandbox, but it's just so radically it was just, I loved watching everyone put their personal stamps, the creativity, the fact that people were having fun with it and trying to be really creative in a way that when you're trying to get that, like, I don't do reviews. So like for me, like in the middle of my video, I have the whole effing review part of it. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like a little bit of a mess. I'm not even going to pretend my review was like a good review. But at the same time, putting that together, I'm like, I want to do more reviews on my channel now. And it's like, I know, although that little section of it's a little bit of a mess, I know what I want my reviews to look like now, so I know how to get better at them. So it was a challenge for me. Like, you know, it was just, I don't know. I had fun putting mine together and working on it and then seeing everyone else. It made me really want to do well with my video, watching everyone bring it.
Yeah. Andrew Davis asked, like, did somebody do videos on the playsets? No one did any videos on the playsets. And I still have 2 of them. I have the one. I know I have the one where the Death Star one where they swing across. Yeah. And I have another one. I don't know what it's packed away. I wouldn't even be able to find it right now.
There were the 2, the cardboard, the Cantina, and the Jabba's playset. There were the 2 Death Star mini sets.
The 2 Death Star mini.
The Chasm swing and. Speaking of chasms, my ex's mom's birthday is coming up. Anyway, there was a chasm swing, the detention block rescue, and then they did a Hoth one with like the turret.
Yeah, the detention block. That's the one I have.
Indoor bunker, and then way at the end, there was the carbon chamber playset that I think ended up being a fan club exclusive. So
okay. I gotta say, so Buddy says I had fun when Chewbacca hitting Prince Shizor in the nuts with his axe. Just had just a fun, quick video. I gotta say this: every time I watch somebody show the back of these, and every time I saw Dash Rendar's ship, I'm like, I want that ship.
Yeah, Outrider, that was a pretty good ship.
I never had the Outrider. It's one of the things I don't think I had it. God, I must have had. I feel like I must have had it.
I was everything until I don't. There wasn't any. I had all of it. Like I bought everything except like some of the there's the little like Millennium Falcon CD-ROM game that came with it. I didn't buy that, but otherwise I bought everything. I would just go to Target or Walmart, Toys R Us, KB, and just get it. And then whenever episode 1 first hit, and then there were all the dump bins of all the figures, I just went. They were like $1 each. I like bought like 9 Mon Mothmas, and then I customized them into being all of the handmaidens from episode 1. So,
and the other thing that I enjoyed is that most of the people that I had asked, they're mostly G.I. Joe people. So to get them out of their comfort zone, but to get others involved, people that are more connected to you, people that were excited and just message saying, hey, do you have a spot for me? Yeah, like even if I didn't, I was gonna make a spot for whoever wanted to do this. I
don't know.
We got. Hold on. I know we had 2 from across the pond. We had Shark Eyes here, and then we also had Fuller's Figures. Do we have anyone else from across the pond?
It was I don't know, but I really liked the Chewbacca mask. That was fun. It reminded me of when the Chewbacca mom mask video went viral and how ridiculous, but how fun that was. So
I cannot believe it. And I was thinking about it today. I don't know how I did not ask this guy. Really good in here. shoot on the guy that had the Bobcat. I don't
Yeah.
know why I didn't ask usual Mike if
That's what I was surprised you didn't. I thought maybe that you had asked him and he said, hell no. And you just didn't want to say that that's what happens.
well, I know he is an inbox collector, but again, it's $5, so I don't think
You
that's
could, yeah, like I'm sure even in, down under, like, I mean,
think-
maybe a dingo stole all of his Power of the Force toys. So.
I know. I just got like there was just like so many that I was, trying to get everyone situated, and just get enough. And so you forget a lot of names of people that would probably do it that would be into this. But I have to say this. So hitting up Toy Habits and Michael coming right back, going, "Oh my God, this is awesome."
He was
And
really.
he wanted to do Gengar right away. Like he was just like, boom. He sends me a picture, and I was like, he was the first one that I wasn't sure if it was the Power of the Force. I'm like, are you sure this is Power of the Force? He's like, I had to double check too, but yeah, like,
I know the Power of the Force Gengar is extra glossy, so yeah, that was definitely the right one.
and his story of what his Charmin, how he was a Charmin rep.
Yeah.
It's like, this is so awesome.
And he would, I mean, Michael and I chatted quite a bit as he was getting ready for it, and he was just really into it. Like, again, like, Michael and the Toy Sorceress, they are always breaking news and they're having to get everything up there really fast. And this was just something Michael kind of got to take his time and work on and have fun with. Like, I think it's a really good reminder to me, especially because I'm about to hit 1 year of making YouTube content. You have to stop and have fun, but also just make video. Even if you're trying to chase an algorithm or whatever, every so often you need to throw that video in there for yourself that's just for your entertainment that you love, because if you don't, you're not going to have a good time. I mean, you're never going to have a good time all the time. That's not how the world works. But I think it was a good reminder for me, like, like there are all these parts of the video I cut out. There's a whole shtick I did with the Bendham Leia. But it was too horrible to look at her through the camera lens for very long, so I couldn't finish filming it, because that's the sculpt that was terrible. We need to talk. I need PTSD, more therapy for my PTSD after looking at that figure through the camera for too long.
So I was listening to your video and I was trying to do some other things, and I heard you mention the Bendhams, and I remember those Bendhams. God, were they awful! I mean, such trash. And I'm not talking about trash for Star Wars. Bendhams are a trash toy.
And you're right, they are. But I also remember seeing those, and even though they were terrible, going to like hitting.
There was
Walmart,
no Star Wars at the time.
Yeah, like those were like, I remember my mom, like, it was we like hit Walmart. We had, and one day, because we saw them at Walmart, right? And it was like they had R2 and they had the Farm Boy Luke. And she looks at the back of the car, and they just wisely just put pictures of the actors on the back. They didn't actually put the figures, because that might have scared us off. But she was like, "Oh my God, Star Wars toys are back." I'm like, "I know, right?" So I didn't say that, because we didn't say that in 1993. It was the 1993 equivalent of like, "Oh my God, for sure," to the max. Anyway, so we went to every Walmart in town. We hit the KB drugstores. I don't think those exist anymore, but sometimes you could find obscure toys. So like in a day, we hit all of these places. And I, at the end of the day, had like 17 Bendhams. And at one of the Walmarts, they were already on clearance, and they were like $1. So
I had a friend, and he was a huge Star Wars guy. Star Wars, there was nothing Star Wars. And he bought so many Bendhams, and we were talking. He'd be like, "I have so many Bendhams." I'm like, "I know you do. We watch you continue to buy them over and over." And I gotta say, like, for the longest time, as a Joe guy, I was happy. I'm like, I'm glad there's not Joe stuff all over. And then when it started getting popular a few years ago, and I was buying like anything, and then it hit that point where I'm like, I can't buy everything. Like, there's way too much G.I. Joe stuff. New stuff coming in, and not let alone the stuff that that I still want to get. But Star Wars, it was so dead. And then to think, I mean, it came back, and those
Well,
Benzos, I don't know if they were like a test run, but I remember them running up to my house when they got the power of the Force, and I believe they had Chewie and Han,
yeah.
and we went on this hunt from for honestly, it was Kmart and Toys R Us. That's where we pretty
Oh my God, Kmart was good.
yeah.
Especially at that point because they were already dying. So like people were forgetting Kmart was a thing. I would go on so many tours. They would have like 2 or 3 like assortments old Power of the Force during the height of it. But that was great because that was the way, like that figure that, because I at the time was buying 2 or 3 of each. So I could open one, have one in package because, want to pay for college. And then just at that point, that was when I was like, maybe I could customize. And there was a book that had come out where C-3PO painted himself purple. So I used purple nail polish. And my first custom was, as an adult toy collector, was putting some, it was like a gloss so like the back metal still showed through it. So yeah, anyway, that was a tangent.
Yeah. Kmart, I had guns from police officers drawn on me at Kmart in the morning toy hunting one day.
Oh no.
Yeah, we were toy hunting, and if anyone remembers, they opened up at 8.
Yeah.
And we had figured out kind of like who had the best selection, but Toys R Us didn't open up to 9:30, and
Yeah.
myself and this other guy, we had finished, and we had to wait for Toys R Us to open up. So we're just kind of sitting there talking, and this guy came in. He walked in at the same time we did, and he walked in at the same time we did, but he wasn't a collector. So we were just sitting there, and all of a sudden, about 6 or 7 police cars come flying in, jump out, guns drawn, and I jump on the other side of my car. And the guy I was talking to, sat there, and they arrested the guy. They come over and start talking to us. The cop says to me, he goes, we kind of explain what, we're just toy collectors, whatever. And he goes, "Why'd you jump on the other side of your car?" I go, "Because you had guns drawn." Like, what do you mean? Like,
What? It's pretty normal.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, no. When you pull a gun on me, I'm gonna probably duck.
You asked me a question, like, why did? So that's the only time I had guns drawn at me or towards me. I guess it technically wasn't at me, but it was in the line of fire.
Yeah, no. Sorry, Officer Stadenko, but
There's a hi to Brennan Barnes, who is on your over on your feed. So.
Brennan, lovely to see you this evening. Thanks for popping in.
Krusty says, "Does anyone remember the old chain warehouse consumers distributing and all the Star Wars G.I. Joes they had?" Was that might have been a Canadian thing?
That must have been Canadian.
No, we had Children's Palace.
Oh, yep. I remember.
That's how you deal with scalpers.
Yeah.
He wasn't a toy collector. I remember him walking in behind us, but we were walking into Kmart when it opened. I mean, it's not odd that someone else might be buying something other than toys, but he was clearly doing something.
How dare you wait for a store to open out in the open?
Clearly at the top of his class at Police Academy. My regards to Mahone.
Speaking of Police Academy, and I recently scanned the Kenner booklet and was looking through it and threw shade at that toy line in my video. That was a weird toy line. Like, can we just talk about how weird that toy line was? Like, yeah.
I remember that it was there. I don't think that, like, if I didn't like something, I don't think that I paid too much attention to it. So I think that's why a lot of these, like, toy lines that people seem to really like. I'm like, I don't remember playing. I don't remember it. I don't know anything about it, because if it didn't interest me then, yeah, I didn't really bother. I think there was just so much G.I. Joe stuff that I didn't need to find something else. I should probably go back to that mentality, right? Oh, there's no G.I. Joe. How about I just sit and just hold on to my money rather than go,
Right.
oh, well, I could go buy.
I could go buy some toys. That would be so good. Exactly, Derek. Exactly.
But so you had all kinds of stuff. Oh, hey, look who it is. It's one of the 3 questions we got wrong. Ostrodamus. Hey guys, popping in to say hello, friends. Like it was a Saturday that I was supposed to drop a video.
Yep. Hey, Oz.
Allison, how is Allison nicer than I am? I don't get this. Like Allison is like, I'm like, no. We are calling out the 3 people that did not do videos.
Okay, like compared to you, yes, I'm nicer, but I mean the barometer there is like, that's like, what's worse, like setting your hair on fire or setting your face on fire? And hair on fire is nicer than face, so I'm hair, your face. Or something. I don't know. Like, I don't know where I was going with that, other than I'm not nice, but you're not nicer more.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
So
something like
you did all kinds of stuff throughout the month. So
yep, I did, because I'm overachieved. Well, I had content I wanted to make anyway, and I'm like, I'm just gonna slide it in.
So talk about some of the stuff that you did throughout the month that maybe some people have missed and maybe want to go back and
take a look at. That's a good point. I should. And for that, I'm going to do the thing that we do where I look at my phone so that way I can remember everything that happened. Because it's all, on here in my YouTube studio. All right. So I did some shorts on Tuesdays. And then more importantly, starting on the May 3rd, I did a color and chill Bespin duel, Luke versus Vader. And then every Saturday, I did one of the Kenner toy guides from 1995, 96, 97, and then 98A dropped last Saturday. Tomorrow, 1998B will drop, which is almost exactly the same as A, but it's a little different. And then I did a coloring book, flip through and coloring of a 1997 Star Wars coloring book. It was released as part of Power of the Force, the special editions. And then I did one of my favorite toy episodes with Ewok Celebration Leia, where I told a story that doesn't make me look great, related to buying Bespin Leia. I mean, Ewok Leia. And then I did a bunch of my time-lapse coloring shorts that are Star Wars from the last year. I put those all in a single video, most of all of those in a single video for people to go watch. And then this morning, I did a color and chill of Yak Face, C-3PO, and Reese. So lots of Star Wars content. I wanted to celebrate properly. So
now I'm not really sure why I didn't just pull it up, because
I don't know. Great question.
You said, I'm like, I could just pull this up.
Well, there's a lot of, but it's, like some of it, I didn't like completely end my other content, but yeah, there's a lot of Star Wars there. So I do have playlists that break down a lot of it. So certainly.
Yeah, but you put in a lot of time. And again, what I did was just part of, I pretty much just organized. Not pretty much. All I did was organize this.
Yeah, you just did the one video and organized.
And then I was done. I did the first. I'm done. Like I forgot to promote people. I forgot to watch. I was on YouTube so fucking much this month that I'm just blown away. I don't even I'm over it. I am so over it. And God bless everyone, because I enjoy doing it, or else I wouldn't. But there was weeks there was 5, and if I'm going on, I'm taking a nap. Which everyone, I tell them I'm going to drop it at 8 my time, and that's when I'm taking a nap. Guess what I was doing at 8 today? Taking a nap. All right. All right. Actually, I set it to wake up at 8.
That's because you're old, and once you get old, you take naps.
Yes. And I hate naps. but yeah, so you did all this stuff, and it's awesome. So
Yeah.
I mean, you did a lot, and I like the idea of doing this every May, something different every May. Um, and there's been so many Star Wars lines that we can easily
Oh yeah,
do different lines, or we
we
could do
could
Power
just
of the Force.
do characters, or we could even do vintage Kenner stuff. I mean, like that gets really expensive, so we would want to maybe rethink
Oh, I would do stuff. I mean,
the concept of that, but like,
I would only want to do content where, I mean, a figure like
yeah,
you
we
need a
want
figure
it to
for
be
$20 to $25 tops. Well, no, I still want to do Star Wars every I don't want to do. I don't want to do May the
no.
Power of Star Trek.
Star Trek is fun, but like, I mean, to be fair, we could probably get Playmate Star Trek toys about as inexpensively as we got all the
Oh,
Power
you
of
can
the
get
Force.
cheaper. Oh, cheaper.
It's a good point. I mean, it is Star
You've
Trek.
heard Jay from Geek That Life numerous times talk about how cheap they actually are.
Yeah, it's a good point.
But I'm talking about every May. I think. But again, there's more than enough figures. We could even do vintage '80s figures, and you can still find them for
You
under,
can find them loose.
$120. They're not
Yeah,
going to be in great shape. They're not going to be mint, but that's not. So okay, so we had this discussion. I don't think there's enough Bendums to fill 31 different slots.
right. Yeah, it's
And,
questionable.
and I know I said I didn't have an issue with people like crossing stuff, but eventually everyone's going to have Han, Leia, Luke. There were some obscure ones. Someone said they came out with Admiral Akbar right at the end. I vaguely feel like I remember that. I don't think I want to do Bentums.
You don't want to bend them like Beckham or whatever.
But I gotta say, like,
That's what we could do. We could do Bendums and then the Spice Girl figures from the '90s because she's a Beckham now. Because Posh Spice married that Beckham guy, so yeah, it would be a crossover. You could do a Spice Girl toy, or you could do a Bendum toy. Any Star Wars Bendum, of course.
my first nudie magazine that I bought was the one with the one Spice Girl in it.
I was gonna say something, but I don't want to get us all demonetized. I mean, I'm not monetized, but I don't want my video flagged. But I was gonna say Gingerlyn Allen was not really a Spice Girl Lawrence. But anyway,
I disagree.
no, she wasn't in the band. Otherwise, that's a different story altogether.
What are you talking about? They had 5 girls.
Okay, next.
So I'm gonna let you say that name.
Titular.
Heroine.
Yeah, heroine.
I just finished the layer pile of the Force 2 retrospective. Very thorough, very well done. Cool piece of history.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's what I was hoping for. I just, like I said, I need to work on my figure review stuff, and I'll get that.
I got what I wanted.
Yeah.
You called her monkey face.
You called her that, but I referred to the nickname, but I just actually didn't see it. It looks like the face was too skinny, the nose was a little too big. I mean, most members of the Simian family don't actually have a nose like that. It's like sort of squished in. So
I've heard other people recently that are not in this community refer to her as monkey face. So it wasn't just me.
Yeah, but there are people in other communities who wear adult diapers and don't change them every day. So that doesn't mean I'm going to believe them.
I'm just saying other people saw it too. That's all I'm saying is other people saw it too.
There are people who saw like Jesus and toast. Does that mean Jesus was in the toast? I don't know. I'm not going to discount their experience, but I'm just not going to buy in. So.
Okay, well, you don't have to. I'm just saying. I'm just glad that you said that.
Yeah.
Not everyone saw.
That's what we should do next year for instead of Power of the Force 2, we'll do like your favorite Star Wars character in toast. Everyone can afford a loaf of bread. Well, I don't know like what the economy will be like next year, but in theory, everyone will be able to afford a loaf of cheap bread.
So
Not even Wonder Bread, just like Walmart store brand loaf of bread.
on Facebook, you will see it pop up on my timeline. Me taking a picture of the kids because we ordered the cutters to make the sandwiches, and they were the Millennium Falcon and Darth Vader's TIE Fighter.
See, that's pretty cool.
So they would have peanut butter and jelly, Millennium Falcon, and you'll see it pop up. So
didn't they did at one point have like a Death Star waffle iron?
I've not seen that, but that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's ultimately sort of my long-term goal with sort of the history videos on my channel is to sort of put all of that together, especially with like Kenner. I mean, obviously there was that big tile at the end of the video where I put every movie line or TV line that Kenner did toward the end there, and it was pretty ridiculous. But eventually I want to do videos on all those various toy lines. So, you know, that's my toy geekery right there, sort of, especially Kenner. Like,
all right. So not. Yeah, I'm sorry. I gotta read this. Just popping in to say hi. Just popping in to say hey, have a good time, all. Then saying hey here too.
Thanks, Payne.
Thank you, Payne, for jumping on both channels to say hi. You are more than welcome to stick around.
Yeah, you don't have to.
I know you have a lot of things going on. Probably trying to get those arms big and buff so you can go get a new wife. Don't get married again.
Wow, that went deep and dark. Anyway, maybe he wants to be single for a while. Maybe
I just told him. I just said don't. I didn't say go get. I said don't. So I tell people not to get married in the first place. So
yeah, but I mean, you implied that maybe he was going to get the big buff arms to get a woman. Maybe he's just going to be happy and improve himself. Like, you know, not everyone improves what they look like in hopes of getting a woman, Lawrence.
It's called a byproduct.
Oh, you said byproduct. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's a byproduct. I mean,
yeah. Okay. That's fair.
I don't care what anyone says. When your arms start getting bigger, all right, you like when people notice. You like when the shirts are tight around your arms. I'm just saying. I don't care who you are.
All right.
You do.
That's fair. That's fair. I'll let you have that one, Lawrence.
There's that dog with that jazz that's playing in the background.
Leave my ex's mother out of this. I swear. She's done nothing tonight that warrants that sort of slander for somebody who only knows her through the slander I speak of her.
No, there's that meme, or it's like a little reel, and people always put something behind it. It's a little dog. It's the music jazz going, and there's one where it says when you've been arrested and they and you hear the police officers say he's a muscular man, and you're like, yep. Look, see, Derek Hoover says Lawrence is 100% correct.
He's just saying that so when he sends money, you'll go wee and spin in your chair.
He's on your channel, so if he sends a super chat, you have to wee.
Yeah, no, I don't have I'm not monetized yet, so I'm not there. Everyone go watch the video so we can get there and we can make Lawrence spin in his chair.
You really don't have enough watch hours?
I don't have enough watch hours just yet, but I'm almost there. This month has helped.
It's a dog. You can't miss him if you're on Instagram. The first one I ever saw was this music going, and he's bouncing like this. And it says when your life is falling apart, but you hit the curb and your check engine light goes off.
What is he doing?
I'll send you one when I see it. It's just a dog. There's little jazz music. There's this little jazz music going.
Okay.
Right? And it's bobbing like this.
Okay. That? Okay.
Just like that.
Just like
sucking a dick.
All right.
Aaron says, I was lacking watch hours for the longest time. I finally got there.
Yeah.
Well, the way you're putting out content, you shouldn't have any issues.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Aaron. You make me look like I'm not putting out anything. And I don't say that in a bad way. Like, I spent like an hour this morning watching a bunch of Aaron shorts. So he makes good stuff.
So Derek says, look, while I never turned down Lawrence giving us a little wee, there is a bit of pride to feeling your shit get tighter in the right spots and people notice. That really could be read in the wrong way.
Yeah, really. That's why I'm just sort of going to let it go. So.
You know what that gets? Hey. Oh, you know what? No. Hold on.
That's what she said.
Perfect. Yeah.
All right. So anyway, I want us to thank you to absolutely everyone that helped.
Yeah,
All right,
for
so
sure.
I want to start with Corey from Make Shape Create. He technically isn't on the list because just because he didn't do a Power of the Force. What he did was he created Masters of the Universe inspired Star Wars figures, which were still smaller than the original line.
They weren't quite as buff as that first wave of Power of the Force. But he got the spirit of them.
So you got to say thank you to Shiny Plastic People. I thought the Emperor, because I'm not going to talk about mine because mine was just basic, whatever. I thought Chris he had so much fun.
Oh yeah, Chris is a great guy.
Yeah, he had so much fun doing it. He was so excited when I hit him up on it.
Yeah,
he was like so excited that in everything he did, he's just a lot of fun. Brick something. Thank you both so much. That was a blast. Now I'm gonna get to yours because you wrote down a whole story.
I loved Brooks as well. And again, it was not like everyone else's. Like, it was just fun. Like,
and at least for me, I can't speak for everyone else because Brick and I have talked about music so much, and he toured on a band. Like, it was fun to hear it put in that form. But so Wraith, who was the first person that went, hold on a minute, I'm gonna order the Rancor, and we're like, wait a minute, like. We're talking about $5 figures. And next thing we know, he's on Punk's Pit ordering like a $75 Rancor. And then we're like, well, we kind of have to have the Rancor keeper to go with it. But he started off doing his thing. That guy, I think if I saw him walking out and I tell him, I see you, I'd never guess you're the nerd that you are. With all your tracksuits that you have. So thank you to Wraith. Cobweb, he was, he got May the 4th. And I didn't even put certain things together. But yeah, May the 4th with Yoda, and he went overboard. And I don't mean in a bad way. He had all the different Yodas and was, again, a lot of fun. We have Kenzo, who dropped the Vader one.
Again, he did a great impression of you, Lawrence. I was confused. I'm like, wait, is this Kenzo or is this Lawrence?
Kenzo did.
I wasn't wearing my glasses also at the time, so that kind of helped. But at the same time,
he had a Michigan hat. He did yes.
He had all the points. He hated Ohio. Like, he said, listen, it was all that.
Yeah, so a lot of fun there. And again, I'm going to say this. I've had Darren, and it's like, I don't know how you take it from people. It's just all about fun. Monday, I basically told Krusty Old Crow, don't fuck this up. I'm giving you the time before mine. But he had sent me over a rap based off of Eminem's Stand. Now, he didn't end up doing it, but we're going to take a 2-minute and 18-second break, and we're going to listen to the song that he did. Krusty, I hope you're still here. All right.
He just did an LOL, so he's here.
Oh, I can't watch it because I had to switch over. So, Krusty,
I'll be your eyes. Krusty is here.
if you guys haven't seen it, here it goes. It's 2 minutes and 18 seconds.
Hashtag made a power to close. The things you'll do for friends. Alright, well, everybody in the COC, you put those lights right there and you follow me. And everybody in that COC, put the lights right there. Subscribe to me. Hey, Punk, look. Now, while he stands here on Scott, you notice this man did not have his hands up. Power of the Force got them all ripped and cut. Now Hasbro's got to fix what Kenner fucked up. 1, 2, 3 into the 4. 1 part, 2 part, 3 part, 4. Hope, the Menace, Awaken Rogue One. Hans the Man, Luke's got bang, but you don't even have a gun. Punk, this guy's just wired too easy. I know everything that he's gonna say about me, and I know that it's gonna hurt, so I'll try not to be rude. But why the fuck I paid $6 for this dude? So yeah, I'm crazy. Yeah, I'm old. Croat's just an alias, but I thought it was bold. C-3PO is the worst figure sold. Popped up in the chest, but not like you, Punk. So it's not a legit workout. He's just bigger junk. But he's getting my action. He got screwed by Kenner. And he's been torn apart and rebuilt like his last name was Jenner. It's hard to try and judge this dude, but I have no idea what he's been through. But I know something about R2. He did stuff with Luke alone, and that's didn't include you. What's the matter, dog? You feel rejected? Did you read your script? I don't know what the hell you expected. And Dagobah might as well have been Paris for R2 to find out what real adventure is. Without them, without you, they met Yoda. Now take a look. Both of them are showing up on Grogu's Mandalorian hook. I wish this beat would end. I wanted to keep you as a friend, but Punk, there's just no way I'll do this again. Oh man, I can't believe I hit send. I wish I was going a cappella. This is getting pretty hard to do, fella. Gotta put it to an end right now. Oh shit, somehow. Alright. That's as far as we go, Punk. Never ask me to do that again.
Oh, Princess Leia has joined us. Or is this Princess Vespa?
Oh, sorry. I had to, listen to it properly,
I did not expect that. I thought he was gonna do his. I assumed that he was gonna do the stand that he did, which I did read on one of the streams, which was really good. But thank you, because that was awesome. The Briscoe word. But thank you, Krusty. You took probably one of the worst figures, and you got a lot of time out of that.
It was a good video. Like, it was fun.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I almost started speaking. We've listened to that so much that I almost had it. I'm going to start saying A and Z and stuff now. So I don't know what that's all about. Anyway.
Then we had the toy enhancer, who Aaron had, he had multiple figures he could have picked from.
He went big and went home with all of the figures. So
yes, and he decided that he was going to buy like 30 stormtroopers. Is that right, Aaron? I know you're still here.
It sounds about right.
And he bought like 30, and I watched in his last video where he was showing them all, which, wow, it was a lot.
It was what it needs to be.
Then we had Thanos and his slave Leia. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was the prisoner Leia. Slave Leia was not released on card the first time until Power of the Jedi. So.
Prisoner Leia. Sorry.
Jabba's prisoner land. It's called the right name. We are toy collectors, right?
So I got a screenshot of her walking Cobra Commander, and I'm like, I just need that. Not that I don't want to have you on Thursday with a friend. I need you on Thursday with a friend just so I can use that as the thumbnail because I found that absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, he's had some good stuff lately on his Wednesday posts.
Well, he doesn't. He doesn't care. He works hard to try and get banned, and he's the one that can't get banned. So
Isn't it ironic? Like he can't get. It's like rain on a rainy day. It's like trying to get banned, but they make you stay. So.
Yeah. Then we had Same Time Toys, and he probably
was a good video. Also,
he probably put in the most personal video. He told the story about when he started, and that him and three of his friends were collecting, and he's the only one that's still around. And that this Boba Fett and IG-88, it's been sitting on his wall since he bought it in, I think, 96. Shadows of the Empire came out.
Yep, 96.
So it's been sitting there, and he finally decided to open it for this. And to me, that was real personal. And again, this is exactly what this was about, to do anything, how you wanted your way. And just like where I have been told, like on some of the Thursday with a friend, that some of these people, they needed to get certain things off their chest.
Yeah.
And I felt like, and I didn't know this, obviously. It felt like it was something that he needed, to do, and it was very therapeutic for him. So I'm really glad he was one of the people that hit me up, say, hey, can I get involved in this? And it was like, hell yeah, you can. We found him on Oz's Clubhouse.
Yeah.
I think I don't think Oz is going to invite me anymore. Think he got mad at me.
I mean, you were being the mean one, and compared to me, that's saying something. So,
Then we had Hyperdelic, who did Lando, and I think you would agree he was the most anxious one. Because
not only was he the most anxious, but he was one of the most enthusiastic about it. So I love Hyperdelic's enthusiasm for life. Like
he had his done 2 days after we announced it. I'm not even joking. He sent me the video. He went out and he bought a figure. He went to like a toy show, I think, on like that Saturday. He had it done Sunday, and he sent it saying, just let me know when I can put it up. Originally, he was going to go earlier, but I had to adjust things because of the dates. Yeah. And so his was done really, really fast.
It was great, bro. It was so much fun.
And then we had Payne, who did his. Probably the shortest of all of them, but produced really well.
Yep.
And that is also his vintage Bomar Monk.
That was a great figure. That was, for those wondering, the first internet figure ever sold exclusively through the internet, but the Star Wars Fan Club Insider ran the address where you could send, because even though it was internet, you had to just basically get the address and then mail in money. So
3-star, try and do a live or try and do a stream with him. You'll really get to hear how much he
Hyperdelic invited me on his about my favorite figure, that his first episode of that, and it was so much fun hanging out with him. Like, he's fun to hang out with. I need to do a pre-record with him so that when I take my time off, I've got one of my Sundays covered. But everyone, like, if Hyperdelic asks you to go on his show, do it, because it's fun to hang out with Hyperdelic.
Yeah. And Largo's Layers here saying, may the Schwartz.
Hey, Largo. Lovely to see you, sir.
And what Hyperdelic says, I just haggled with a dude to get R2 from Power of the Force. I'm hunting C-3PO now. You should probably hit up Krusty because I think he has.
If you're having a hard time, for whatever reason, sometimes the R2 on a card is hard. They use that exact same R2 in the Princess Leia collection, that first one. I know because I just opened one. So you might. Oh, there you go. But you could also
haggled them down from $7 to $6.45.
I did that with not with any of the Power of the Force stuff. There was it was just principle. Like the person wanted way too much on shipping. I'm like, I should not have to spend $18 for you to send. And it was a vintage coloring book, people. Like, there is no way it costs this person $18 to send that to me through Media Mail. So I haggled them down for 15 from 15 for the book to 13. And I was like, that's a win. So Wraith Mace hooking people up.
Yep. So Wraith Mace gifted a membership. Thank you very much. And what do we say to that?
Welcome to the Creamery.
And Grievance was the recipient of that. So
congratulations. Grievance is a good person.
And thank you, Wraith Mace. It is greatly appreciated. All the memberships that you donate. And we already discussed yours. You were the first one that went big. The toy enhancer may have gone bigger or at least crazier. But Wraith was, again, sitting there on Punk's Pit, and we're talking about this. And I'm talking $5 figures, and here Wraith is looking up this $75 Rancor.
The toy
He's like, I can use it for other things.
Aaron the Toy Enhancer did stay on brand though, because I didn't expect anything less than him going all in. He just goes all in. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, he found something that he did not like. Or sorry, he found something that he does like. And sorry here. Tony with the $2 super chat.
Hi, Tony.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
I will reiterate again. That is a long ass song that I just thought it was something that played over and over and over for Shane McMahon to come to dance.
You should get one so that anytime Tony sends a super chat, it's from that song. It's like, like that Khalees and what's his name? The one like, hey, baby, you got my money or whatever. You should do that for Tony. And he's dubbing, hey, Tony, baby, you got my money. Anyway, sorry, Tony.
I know
I'm trying not to like rap or sing on the internet because I haven't had enough drinks for that to be palatable for anyone.
Aaron, is that the first time you're hearing Welcome to the Creamery? I just started doing it.
It's the first time in a long time Larry's been creamed by anything. Anyway.
Yeah.
Derek, he only does the super chat on other streams. He doesn't do it on his own.
Yeah, the Wii only comes on. The Wii only comes on Oz's Clubhouse because I can't do the Wii when I'm alone or with one person. But when there's 10 of us, then I can do it, or I will do it. Shall I say? Technically, I could do it. All right. Aaron says I posted in my video the one I had to cover for Speaking Moistly. Yes, we haven't got there yet.
But really quick, let's discuss the fact that moist really upsets some people on the internet. So moist.
Did he?
I think. No, I mean like just saying the word moist.
Why?
Really
Okay. Why is that word bother people? I don't understand.
I don't know, because I hear moist and I think of brownies, but I'm also a recovering fat girl. So like it could just be like moist, I think cake, brownies, like, crashing my diet and just having fun. So I don't know.
I just don't understand why it's something that bothers people. Like, I mean, I've heard a lot of people on different channels say they don't like hearing that word.
I had a coworker, and anytime you would say moist, she would like start gagging like she was going to throw up. So I said it probably every day 7 or 8 times. She'd walk by and I'd be like, wow, this like water is very moist.
What
about
speaking damply?
damp.
All right, so where were we at?
Speaking of things that are damp, it's my ex's sister's birthday also coming up. So
We had Master Versal Toy Hunter who did Admiral Akbar, and he
I
pretty
love
much
his production values, the
Yes.
scale of his video, epic.
he pretty much did a movie.
It was a movie. Yeah, no, it was a movie for all you moist people. It was a movie.
Which I wasn't expecting all that from him. You know, I mean, I know
Yeah.
he does a lot of stuff. So,
Yeah,
it's Jay Gonzo here.
I bet Elder will watch in the rewatch because I think like where he lives in the world, it's in Eternia, it's like nighttime there or something. So
I feel like he always ends up showing up at some point.
at some point, he probably
So, like any channel like that he's part of, he eventually shows up
eventually.
during
Yeah,
a live stream.
yeah, he
but-
is ubiquitous and
Yeah,
moist.
his was really good. Vine Jungle with
That was a
Wampa.
fun video. I like the comparison of all of the Wampas.
Yeah, and he was another one that reached out to me, saying, "Hey, can I get in?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, you can."
And if you're watching this from my channel, please go check out his content. He does a lot of custom figures, and it's amazing. And I say that not that people who watch Lawrence's stuff shouldn't go, but I'm just saying my channel, because we like the art stuff on my channel, and that's kind of our focus. Please go check him out. He does amazing custom work, and then everyone else also go check him out. But I'm just saying my channel, please, like, go check the dude out. He does arty stuff with toys. It's amazing.
And then we had Travis, Mr. Wonderful.
That was
And-
fun. It was nice seeing Ed in a suit.
Yes, and Ed, my moderator, where they tried. Well, I can't say Travis, but the person that did Travis's review tried to convince us that Star Wars is a ripoff of Spaceballs.
That's fake news.
Yes, and I think Ed had disagreed, but you know, you can't change some people's minds. I still believe that Sergeant Slaughter turned his back on Hulk Hogan and the USA, and you can't convince me otherwise. Then we had
Wait, but that was wrestling. That wasn't real, right?
it's always real.
Okay,
Wrestling is always real.
okay, sure, Jan.
Then we had Tony Speaks, which we got to find out that Tarkin may have been gay or he may not have been gay, and it's possible that his lover was one of the stormtroopers that Han and Luke killed.
You know, I'm all for diversity in Star Wars, so I kind of like. I mean, I'm the one who had Chuckles and Xandar get married on as a kid. My what was the play set for G.I. Joe, that like big one that had like all the semen on it? The flag. Yeah, I had them get married on the flag.
I feel like that's a stereotype there.
That Xandar and Chuckles were gay on the flag.
No, that sailors are gay.
I've been to Fleet Week many times, and it's at least 40% true in my experience.
But Tony is one that can tend to go on and on and on. I'm not saying it's a bad thing because there is a good chance that I do the same thing.
Tony's, again, it was a fun video. It wasn't like like I'm just gonna keep saying these videos are fun and you should all go watch them because I had a great time with all of them. So
Oh, they were. I'm not knocking any of them. Then we had Skelly, who I tried to situate it where if you're part of a live stream, that I would try and make it so your day was before that live stream, so you could have another talking point if possible. Skelly did Guido.
Greedo, not Guido. Greedo.
Yeah, Greedo, whatever. I went to school with a lot of Italians, so the Guido kind of comes out. But
I think I remember Star Wars and like it was Greedo. Okay. Thanks.
He has a love for Greedo that I I'm not sure if I've ever seen anyone like Greedo that much. And I think it's awesome because there is always that one character that in Star Wars that you gravitate towards that people may not have cared for. And considering he's only in it for a short bit.
But this is my one of my many personally held convictions about Star Wars and Star Wars toys, especially for those of us old enough to be around for the original Kennerline. One, the way those toys were, they were just bright, colorful. We didn't have the movie on VHS. We couldn't watch it anytime on the streaming platform. So like the figures were the movie for us, and then you kind of just made up your own movie. So it was really easy to like focus on side characters and just, there are only so many times you can blow the Death Star up, but you can do so much with Greedo and Hammerhead and the one with like the baby butt in his mouth, Walrus Man, and Snaggletooth. So.
Yes, yeah, I couldn't do that with Star Wars. Star Wars played Star Wars. That's how they were.
It's because you lack imagination, sir. I'm just kidding.
You're not wrong.
They
Rhodians
are
do look
super
cool.
cool. Yeah, the Rhodians. They're just fun. Like, I don't know. Like for me, that was Star Wars as a kid. It was like Princess Leia, the droids, and the Death Squad Commander. Everyone else was incidental. Like that was Star Wars for me. Like Han was fine, Luke was okay, whatever. But it was about the droids and Leia and like all the cool aliens that like were part of it. And the Death Squad Commander, because if you're gonna have a villain instead of the evil robot Vader guy, because I thought he was a robot as a kid, you got to get an old white dude and a weird helmet to like be your villain. So,
except they had a black voice.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the Death Squad Commander. He sounded British because British people evil.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had Brick Something, who gave a wonderful account of Muff Take and Cabe. Now, this is something that is going to annoy me for the rest of my life. And that is, I didn't know who these figures were, and we were talking about it, and I looked them up. The following day, because it was on Oz's, and so we were talking about it. I didn't know who they were. The following day, we went and shot the second video that we had, that my son and I did, that is not edited yet, for Toy Stories. And sure enough, what 2-pack do they have? That one right there. And I pick it up and I make reference to May the Power of the Force, which by the time the video comes out, it might be May the Power of the Force 2025. So Brick may have to
2025 needs content.
But I love Brick breaking it down, talking about everything that they were doing. I had a lot of, again, I thought his was so good. And, again, him and I talking music and, talking backstage more than a few times, but especially when not when I was on his show, but when he was on my show, we talked for quite some time. It was great to, discuss that stuff. So,
Brick's good people. And there are like 4 people that are the reason I decided to get up on YouTube and make stuff, and Brick is one of those 4 people. So
hooked on spice and death sticks. Brick had a whole story. I don't know how you.
That was amazing. It was so good. Like that, and that's what I like seeing on YouTube. I like more of that and less of diapers and stuff. So yeah.
Saturday we took a break. On Sunday, Wilhelm, who was actually someone reached out to me saying, "Hey, Wilhelm wants to know if he can get involved," which again, hell yeah, because he had an AT-AT. It's called an AT-AT, not an AT-AT. It's an AT-AT. Also, while I'm on it, Aaron the Toy Hancer, it's called an ATST, not an AT-ST.
Chicken Walker, as it's known by the people.
I've never heard anyone refer to it I've heard AT-AT, which is what I've always called it. I've heard AT-AT, but it's always been ATST. I have never heard someone refer to it as an AT-ST. I was like, what the fuck is that?
It's just a chicken walker, you know.
And there's a reason why everyone hates me. But the fact that he had one that he had planned on reviewing. Tony, do you even listen?
And we talked about it, Tony. We had this whole thing about talking about diversity in Star Wars during it. Maybe it was just you heard diversity and tuned out because you're not into diversity. I'm just kidding. Just kidding, Tony. I know you can read English or whatever. So.
The AT-AT STD.
Oh, wait. Tony went to eat, and he's like...
Tony went to eat, and he was like, did you guys miss mine? Like... Oh.
Hey, Tony, I'm the nicer one of the two of us, but even I have to go, Tony. Come on, Tony.
Aaron says Missy disagrees. It's AT-AT. See, it literally says AT-AT right there.
Again, like in the day, we called it an AT-AT, and then at one point it was AT-AT.
I didn't hear that till recently. I had never heard that till recently.
Maybe it's the Mandela effect.
But I've never heard anyone refer to it as anything other than the ATSD. Which, when you think about it, it would make sense why people would call it an AT-AT. But anyway. Yes, Tony hates diversity.
It's true.
Things that we find out. Tony hates diversity. Thank you, Pop Blender.
Yep.
See, look, thank you. See? Thank you, 3-star draw. He knows. Definitely AT-AT. All right. But yeah, the whole AT-AT thing, the fact that he had one there and he's like, this is a perfect chance to open it. So kudos to him and Largo, who did like a dual video. So we're real happy with that.
Well, and also they, if you go check out Wilhelm's channel, if you missed the video, they also unboxed and talked about other Power of the Force 2 stuff. So they also did extras it's almost last month, over the last few weeks. So yeah, go check out their stuff. There's some, and listening to him and Largo just chat about stuff is epic. So I enjoyed I would put them on and just listen to it while I was working on stuff. So definitely check it out.
I'm going to say this. Every year we hear may the 4th be with you, right? People talk about it. But this year, on many other channels that we are not associated with, numerous ones, I heard so many people want to discuss the Power of the Force line, Power of the Force 2. And I'm sorry, but we have to take credit for that because no one was doing it any year. And we situate all this, and all of a sudden we hear all these. I've heard so many YouTube channels talk about what a good line it was, and it was like, I've never heard anyone discuss this before. So I will pat myself on the back, and then I'll go see the doctor this weekend to fix my shoulder, how hard I'm going to pat myself on the back. So
somebody has to do it for you.
I know.
It's
then
a
Monday,
lot of work to be that proud of yourself. So
I know. I'm proud of myself.
You're good enough, you're smart enough, and doggone it, people like you.
Monday, Shark Eyes did Chewie.
I know,
A
it's
very
hilarious.
steroided Chewbacca. I can at least get behind Chewie being muscular, Darth Vader being muscular. Just never made sense because he was, well, more machine now than man.
No, that's a good point. I never thought of it that way.
Now, if he would have been more machine, now, lifting and big, then I could have said, "Hey, this makes sense." So he dropped that. Down South came in with Lando. So that was our second Lando video, and then Down
He
South
also did the general, like he did the Lando, he did like the range, so it wasn't
Yeah.
just that first one.
So what he did was, rather than wait to see if we might have needed him as a fill-in, he went all Tommy Boy. When Tommy Boy smashes the stuff because he's so excited, he just had to get that video out there too.
What's
So-
Tommy Boy?
Did you ever see Tommy Boy?
What is it?
You've never seen the movie Tommy Boy?
No, it's a movie.
Yes.
Who's in it?
Chris Farley. David Spade.
Oh, okay, yeah. He's dead now. I feel bad for him.
He doesn't know that you feel bad for him because he's dead.
Oh no, I speak to dead people, so I'll go get the Ouija board later and be like,
But
hey.
yeah, you asked me and I told you to wait because we didn't know. But he went on Chris Farley and Tommy Boy when he started smashing things up because he's just so excited.
I just put that down on my list so I can watch that movie.
Have you never seen Tommy Boy?
No.
This is how good Tommy Boy is. It takes place in Ohio, and I like it.
Oh, yeah. We know how much you like Ohio.
Yes. I wish we could alder on Ohio.
I'm sure there's at least one good thing about Ohio. I can't think of it because I've blocked out the entire 7 hours or so that I was in Ohio.
If you like roller coasters, it has Cedar Point. It has Jeep Plant. And what is the other thing? We got a couple Heisman Trophy winners at Michigan that came from there. That's how bad they wanted to get away. Bobby Wold says, I feel bad for that 67 GTX they destroyed in the movie. Yes. Yes. I've seen more than 47 films. It's maybe about 57.
But you still haven't seen the original Raiders of the Lost Ark, right?
What movie would that be?
The one with like Harrison Ford.
I thought after Han Solo, he didn't do anything.
It might as well be true, except for Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh wait, he was
I
the
can't really
president.
talk. I've never seen Top Gun on purpose, so
Yeah, you're missing out.
Mhm.
But we're gonna rectify that soon.
yeah, we'll see about that. I think I have a headache that night.
So highly articulated to the two speeder bikes, Luke on speeder bike and the biker scout.
That was a good video also.
It is a true toss-up between Jedi Luke and the speeder bike of what are my favorite figures. I absolutely love the speeder bike and the biker scout. He was always my favorite stormtrooper. I loved where he hosted his gun. I loved the little gun. It looked like a small version of the laser tag gun. But yeah, and I love the suit. I think he had the best suit. And the fact that they were able to mold a figure that went onto the mold of the 80s speeder bike was awesome. Because really, you just saw how bad the speeder bike, not how bad the speeder bike was made, but how bad the figures from the original line fit on those speeder bikes.
Yeah, that always annoyed me as a kid. I'm like, nothing fits on here.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, the biker scout cannot stand properly.
It just looks like he has issues that require preparation H and a donut. So.
Yeah. But real nice video. He was one that someone reached out to him, I believe Brick, sent him a message and said, hey, pick up a Power of the Force. He had no idea what it was for. He picked it up, probably realized, oh shit, this is for Punk. God damn it.
I heard there's a rumor he doesn't like you for some reason.
That's what I hear too, but
Why doesn't he like you? What could you have ever done that would make him not like you?
I'm going to give him a big hug at Joe Fest. I'm going to make someone take a picture, and we're going to send it right over to Brick something.
Aw.
Because Brick says I just need to hug it out. Now I don't know. I don't know if Adam is tall or not.
If he's
I hope he's not
super
that
tall,
tall.
you need to be careful about placement when you hug him.
Believe me, I know.
You've been
I know.
short your whole life. I'm sorry. I'm ma'am-splaining to you.
Dreadnought Ryan. This guy is a G.I. Joe guy through and through. And I hit him up and I said, hey, would you like to be part of this? Because I don't collect them. And I was like, yeah, I know, they're only like $5. And he was like, yeah, I'll get one. And he was one of the people. I love Ryan. I was kind of worried that maybe he wouldn't come through, but he hit me up and he's like, hey, I got my figure. I'm going to do it. And I think he liked it because it seems like he has a butt on his face. And Shiny Plastic People tunes in. It's okay. I try not to like anyone. Bullshit. You're like the nicest guy that I fucking talk to.
He is so nice.
You know? And you're all like, the only person that might giggle at himself more than you is this guy right above you, Hyperdelic.
Yeah.
All right? True. Hyperdelic right now is giggling that I said that. All right?
I like that he name-checked Sabrina with Harrison Ford.
And then Pop Blender. I honest to God had to watch it, and I was like, is this an actual like commercial from the 90s?
It was good.
The whole like, and it's weird. This is what I'm gonna say. Pop Blender, when I see you there, you look so different because for some odd reason, maybe it's because of the background that you have and it's a digital background, you don't look the same as when I've seen you a couple times on with Matthew recently and when you did that video. Especially when you did that video. I was like, oh my God, he looks completely different. But you made that look like a 90s video minus the missing parts on your vehicles. But out there playing, I thought it was so cool. I had so much fun watching that. I wish my kid liked me half as much as your kid likes you, or at least acts like he likes you. My daughter might. I'm not sure about my son. Actually, I know for a fact. But I loved your video. I absolutely love what you did. I had so much fun watching that. Again, another one that I sat back and said, no one has done anything like this. And this is truly the type of thing that I wanted. And again, so many people did just that. So, Pop Blender, just so you know, I loved your thing. Baldy was another person. I didn't realize he collected Star Wars. He said, I want to do the expanded universe. And I was like, I don't think that's part of it. And he came back and he said, yep, see, look.
It was.
And let me tell you something. I had no idea that those expanded universes had dioramas built into.
I know. Those are amazing.
And I'm like, why isn't every line doing it? Why is it that I bought this, Ben Reilly Spider-Man, right? Oops. Why does it not have an opening where he's like, I can put him on a fucking building? I want every figure to have a built-in diorama now. Because I didn't know it from...
Like, my feeling is they put that cardboard backing thing in there anyway. Like, just put a cool scene on it. Like...
Yeah, but the way that thing opened up, that thing went... And he showed multiple ones. And I'm like...
I know. I had that whole set. Like, all of those expanded... There was Luke, Leia, Mara Jade, the... Imperial Sentinel, there was a Space Trooper, there was Thrawn. I forget. There was like one of Kyle Katarn from like Dark Forces, and then the Dark Trooper. So there were like 8.
Yeah, but I totally forgot that they even had that. So
Dash Rendar was in Shadows of the Empire.
Yes. All right. And then I briefly talked about Toy Habits. Michael from Toy Habits. He was so excited when I messaged him. And he came right back when you Dengar. And if I remember correctly, his words were, "Who doesn't love a guy wrapped in toilet paper?" And he followed through with it. His story of being I believe it's the Charmin representative, and how he became a bounty hunter. I was like, this is absolutely awesome. So, so happy that Michael, who I can say is the biggest channel, that joined us in this. And they are a big channel. But I've talked to Michael numerous times, and there's a reason why Michael and the Toy Sorceress are now Toy Habits.
Yeah.
It's fun. I'll just leave it at that.
They're just good people. Like, they're not. There's nothing pretentious about them. It's not one of those things where they're like, "Oh, we have like 4,000 subscribers. Look how big we are." They're just not like that. So.
Yeah, they have like 9,000 subscribers.
Oh, I know. You have 4,000 subscribers.
I have 4,000. I like to make sure everyone knows it.
Yeah, you're exactly what they aren't. So
I know I'm an asshole.
I wouldn't say that. That's like to your face. Anyway.
I'd rather people say it to my face.
Yeah, Michael is, again, I said there are 4 different people why I'm doing this. It was literally Michael. I was like, well, actually, him on a bunch of videos. And he was like, why don't you come on an episode and talk about Princess of Power with us? I'm like, sure. And I was terrified. And here I am, like years later on the internet, talking toys. Thanks, Michael. Now you all know who to blame.
And then Bud came in with Shadows Luke.
That was a good video too.
I gotta say, the Shadows of the Empire figures, they're really good figures. Like, they're just really cool. I think that Luke is really awesome. I love the suit. I always loved figures that were disguised. Bosch, and Lando. That was probably my favorite original figure was Lando, because everything was 5 points of articulation, and that's pretty much how he stood. He was one of the few figures that looked normal in his stance.
Yep.
So Bud came in, and I'm glad he didn't show us his face. He did a whole video where we didn't see his face. I was like, thank you, Bud. Not the real Lawrence. He's probably eating edibles at the same time, but
I mean, sometimes you gotta.
So Bud is here, and he says, yeah, I always loved Shadows of the Empire, and that Luke was my only powers of the Force Luke I had. It is such a good, and it's disappointing that they never brought that suit in to any of the live action stuff. That would have been awesome. I mean, I guess they could do that, they could do that anymore. He says, sadly, I don't look like you anymore. My hair grows fast. Did you see that Bud shaved his head?
I did not, no.
Yes, he shaved his head, and yeah.
I bet it would have been really hard to tell you two apart for like a day there, and then his hair grew out a little more, and then
Sure. And then we had Speaky Moistly, who was supposed to be the TIE Fighter pilot. He finally responded and said, no, he's not going to do it. So we had Aaron, the toy enhancer, who did an amazing video.
Yeah.
Aaron, I mean, it was so awesome. The way you decided to work the whole thing in, it worked perfectly. And then you did the TIE Fighter, which, how do you have a TIE Fighter? You have 24 stormtroopers, and you haven't bought a TIE Fighter pilot?
he's trying to be the Todd McFarlane of Power of the Force.
But yeah, his video was really good. And thank you very much for filling in. I definitely do appreciate it. Quickly, Wilhelm Toy and Hobby shows up. Hello, Punk and Allison and everyone in the chat. Can't stay, but want to say, may the power of the Force be with you always. Thank you very much. And I talked about you and Largo, yours and Largo, you and Largo. That sounds kind of stupid. Yours and Largo's video. Thank you for doing the ad. Again, the fact that you had it there, you planned on doing it, you never get around to it, and this was the perfect opportunity. So, thank you very much. Again, I love just having all these people come together to do some old ass 30-year-old toys. Almost 30 years old.
Almost.
Yeah.
29.
Someone say, they're not exactly 30 years old yet.
That was me.
Shiny Plastic People says, Luke could wear that armor in an upcoming Thrawn, whatever Disney is doing. I hope that honestly, I hope they do. It was such a, they don't even have to have Luke in it. They could just have those troopers or whatever they were.
I'm going to say, of all the things I dislike about what George Lucas did, the fact that they never actually made Shadows of the Empire a proper animated movie, big miss.
But he wasn't doing animated movies at that time.
Yeah, and that means he wouldn't have directed it, so it might have been good.
But he did come out and he liked the book that much that he considered it canon.
Yep.
And he didn't do that, I don't believe, for any other. I don't think he did that for any other book.
Well, that was because Shadows of the Empire was planned. So that was their dry run toward the special edition. So it was like they did a soundtrack, they made a game. It was all of the stuff without a movie so that they could get all of the stuff up and running. So that when it was time to release the special edition movies and then the prequels, like all of these systems, all the marketing was like going. So,
and I get what Shadows of the Empire was. I can honestly say it's been. I mean, I've read the book. I don't read very much. It's one of the few books that I've actually read.
I believe that about you.
If it's not good enough to be made into a movie, I'm not going to read the book. Shadows of the Empire was really what Rogue One was. It was, we already knew what happened. Someone filled in the story before it, and it was done. And I love Rogue One. I think it was done perfect. It is a movie that you're like, oh my God, all these people are going to die, and you actually have a connection with them. I found Shadows of the Empire the same thing. It filled in exactly what happened right after Empire, leading into Jedi.
Yep.
And it didn't take too many turns to make anything look like, well, this doesn't work. I mean, so I'm glad that some people chose to do that, to do those figures. All right. Fuller's figure, another guy that I had reached out to from across the pond. I'm glad we were able to get some people from other countries to join in. He does Action Force and G.I. Joe. And when I hit him up, just asking him, he's like, well, I don't have any, but I'm on my way to this toy show. I'll see if I can pick something up. And he hit me up like that day or maybe the next day saying he picked up Jedi Luke. Jedi Luke, I'm not gonna lie, I still like the Jedi Luke with the gray vest better than the black because it just kind of makes him pop. But I think that Jedi Luke is probably my favorite figure. I love the Biker Scout, but he can't really even stand. He has to be on the bike. But I absolutely love that figure. It was such a good figure. And then as I was watching it, I'm like, I'm going to go buy that figure. So when I see it at Sergeant Red's for about $10, I will be picking it up just because I just really, really like that figure. How you doing, Jeff Morris? Thanks for joining. And then Thursday we had Matthew Matson, who unfortunately did not do his video. With that said, he did join me as we talked Spaceballs yesterday and broke down the movie, which went way longer than I thought. And then, oh, look, we stayed on longer because a whole bunch of G.I. Joe news broke. Go figure. um,
You got to make it 3 hours somehow.
I didn't want to, especially considering we're starting at 10, right? And we come to yours, your final video. I thought book ending, because you and I were the ones that had come up with this.
Yep.
Some really, really, really weird. There's like different ways that it came about. From someone complaining about people reviewing old figures to the signing that never really happened other than a few of us that signed the cards. But I thought it was best to bookend us, and especially having you go at the end, because this really was your project. This whole May, and again, when this, this all kind of came from some weird idea. But you said I already had the Star Wars content planned for my whole month.
Yeah, it was. So it yeah. I mean, like, it's May, of course. I do a lot of Star Wars anyway. So, I knew that at some point I wanted to do Power of the Force 2 stuff. So eventually I would have done this video anyway. It just, I don't know, like we were hanging out in your, like your members only. I think it was one of the nights I didn't, well, Fridays are hard right now. But it was one of the Fridays I was just in chat and was, working on stuff. And you were just saying that some creator was on their channel complaining that somebody had reviewed an old toy and went off on a rant. And I'm just like, most of us, except Larry and the Creamery, don't get paid to do YouTube.
I'm
And
sorry,
even Larry, it's not like you make a lot of money.
What was that?
You and the Creamery.
Welcome to the Creamery.
Sometimes you need to do videos if you're making, and this goes to everyone watching, everyone in chat. If you make videos on this platform, sometimes you just need to do videos that are just because you want to make it. It makes you happy, because otherwise you're not going to have fun, and this is not going to be a sustainable thing for you. So have fun with it. Make videos just for you. In between, if you're chasing algorithms and views, don't stop. Like, succeed. Do what you need to, but throw some videos in there for you, because this should be fun. You should be enjoying this. And it was just it was sort of spiteful, because I was just like, well, he'd really love if he saw like 30 videos hit the feed that were all these old Power of the Force toys, and here we are. So
and we ended up with 29 people, right? Or 28 people that did one.
We have 3 people who ended up not making videos, who were still enthusiastic about the idea, and for whatever reason it didn't happen. I'm going to be the nice one on this, so Lawrence can be the jerk. But at the same time, like, we had 31 plus people, because Corey at Make Shape Create did adjacent stuff, but we had people enthusiastic about this idea and about just doing stuff because it was fun and to build like a community or whatever. Like, I don't know what word we're using for community. Don't want to step on toes. But like, we've made, between my channel, your channel, everyone who participated, between all of our channels, we have a nice little cluster of people who, like, we're pretty civil to each other in chat. Like, when somebody comes in and they're a crusty old crab or whatever, it's like they're not from any of our channels. It's from outside. It's people who are frankly just sad. So I don't know. I appreciate like everyone enthusiastic and wanting to create something fun that makes YouTube fun, because it should be fun. We're doing something.
Yeah, we will do something next year for Star Wars for May. Will it be again? It will still be called May the Power of the Force, no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that right now. Whether we do Power of the Force, Vintage, Black Series, whatever it is, because I'm probably going to try and do a little bit down the road a G.I. Joe thing also.
That would be fun.
But again, we're maybe pick an O-ring figure or something, But I want it where people can pick out figures for, you can find figures for $10. I'm not going to do a Mythic Legions one where people have to spend $55 on a figure. Like, hey, I don't really like this line. I can ask someone to spend, hey, can you spend $10 on a figure and do a video? I'm not ever going to ask someone to spend $50 on a line of figures that they don't collect, because that's just crazy. But $5-10, and yes, you can find these for $5. Yeah. The Island of Misfit Toy Tubers.
I like that.
But Dreadnought Brian might get upset. He is the Island of Misfit Toy Collectors.
Okay.
No, I mean, that's really what we are. I mean, but yeah, Bobby, we definitely will do it, because as stressful as it was, and I'm not going to lie, like, you guys may look at some of the content. I really do take this stuff very serious. I mean, I spend a lot of time just because I'm growing a brand, and I do like to be professional. There's a reason why every Monday I am here at 9. I know, probably about 9:05 lately, right? But I'm here every Monday, every Thursday I'm here. Like, I blocked that stuff off because I looked at it as the same way you look at a job. I have to be there at a certain time. Allison, you're the same way. You're doing something every Sunday, right?
Yep.
And you're right. It's not about getting rich or anything like this, but you are. I think it shows how professional you are in your life in general. But to get everyone together, it started off frustrating. Am I going to get 31 people? Then we got just 31 people. So I stopped asking people. In all honesty, if I would have kept asking, I'm sure we could have, got way more than that. And I lined it up so the first week, it was already people that I knew had figures, that had done content, that were ready to go. Well, other than Hyperdelic, who he had his done, day one. But again, I had a lot of fun. I loved watching everything that people put into it, getting people out of their comfort zone, and just having a good time. And then I like that, Corey jumped in to create his own stuff, where it wasn't slotted in the 8 o'clock time slot, but it was still slotted in to work with Power of the Force. So next year we definitely will do something again. I don't think I would be as stressed out again, because you know that people are going to do it. And again, I had people reaching out to me asking to do this.
Well, not only that, but after we've, like I used to do event planning and weddings. Sorry, just had a flashback. But this year, there were things that worked, there were things that didn't work, there were things that didn't happen that probably should have, but a lot of that stuff you don't know until you do it. So now that we've sort of had one of these, we know next year where the shortfalls, as it were, and where to we probably at any point could have said, hey, does anyone want to help with some of this stuff? And probably it would have gone a lot smoother. So we'll know that for next year. Whatever we end up doing next May for Star Wars, we know sort of where balls were dropped, and not even people who weren't, I don't consider sort of what happened with the few videos that didn't get made real ball drops, because there are legitimate reasons those didn't happen. So it's just different. So I think so for next year I've got an idea of what would be better, what would work better. So cool.
The truth is, shit happens, and if you can't do it, we understand.
Yep.
And I have no ill will towards him, but it was very frustrating that we were ghosted. And all I needed, and you reached out, all I needed was sorry, I'm not going to do it. You don't even have to tell me the reason why. I didn't give a shit. It was just tell us that you're not going to, because clearly you could see throughout the month that we had this scheduled. Again, it doesn't matter. It's not like it's your job, not like you're going to lose a job or anything. But it's real easy just to communicate and say, hey, sorry, I can't do it, or I'm not going to do it. Okay. End of story. That's the only thing that bothered me. And I'm not going to lie. You know, I think that's obvious that like Todd says, yeah, it was cool seeing the community come together on this project. So, but now I can you see how many people they enjoyed it. All right. I think I could easily have been like, hey, Aaron, I need you to do 31 May the Power of the Force videos and just put them up at 8:00, and he would have.
Yeah.
I mean, he had 22 days. He could have done Stormtroopers. He started off with 0 Stormtroopers, and he didn't review a Stormtrooper. Well, again, this is, you know, like I said, I would like to do probably a G.I. Joe one. It is still kind of frustrating. Not frustrating. Frustrating is wrong. It is still stressful. And again, I think for me, it is for everything. There's something else that I'm going to try and do this year, and I'm going to need help from a lot of people in the community. And we discussed it on Punk's Pit, and it's something that I will need help with, and it'll be for a good cause. So that's something that I will be reaching out to people when, you know, I decide to do it. And it's one of those things. It's one of these things where you just have to go out and do it, because sometimes we fucking fail. But we're not like other cultures where once we fail, we just fucking give up. We fail, we get fucking back up, and we do it again, right? Because
it's like Chumbawamba says, you get knocked down, but you get up again.
Okay, I do not quote Chumbawamba.
But why not? It's such a good quote.
Because now you're having me singing that fucking song.
At least it wasn't Natalie Imbruglia.
I like Natalie Imbruglia. Not only was she hot and had beautiful eyes, but I like that song. I mean, I actually like that song. I don't know if she had other songs. I'm sure she did. But I only know that one. Shiny Plastic People says, I love the idea of different reviewers for different purchases of the same figure. So I think that might be hard to find, like an older figure to get. See, look, Master Versal Toy Hunter shows up. Told you, son. Yeah, I will always show up eventually to all the streams that he's, you know, part of. Somehow. I don't know how he does it. I think logistically, I mean, I like the idea. I don't know if logistically how much that would work, because there's so many people that, you know, like I'll see a figure, and even an older figure, that it's like, man, that thing is always sitting over here. And they're like, I've never seen a figure in my life. But I'm...
It's okay, Papa Winter. There's nothing where you used to lie. The conversation has run dry. That's what's going on. That's what's going on.
But yeah, again, a lot of fun. But we'll be doing something next year for sure. I would like to do this with probably G.I. Joe. I would say, cool. Yeah, I think most of the people that I talk to are G.I. Joe fans, so it'd be a lot easier. But I would want people that aren't G.I. Joe fans to want to do it too. Maybe do the Motu Origins. You know, that would probably be the easiest one. You know, those figures are $20 to $25.
Unless you find them at Ross for $3 or $4.
Have any of them showed up there?
Mm-hmm. No, I got a Sorceress for $3 or $4.
Oh, I had no idea.
Big Lots also for a while had the 2-packs from Target, the Keldor and Cronus. Yeah, that's his name.
Really?
Yep. Yep. They were like, it was $6 for that 2-pack of Big Lots. So I got 3.
You know, let me tell you about. I want to tell you about Point Dread. All right. I thought Point Dread was an exclusive to fan channels. I bought it. I did a video right before I went to Florida. My Motu videos have got hardly any views. This video did really, really well. Somehow I deleted it.
Oh, no.
And because I remember looking at the views before I left for Florida, it was like in the 700 or 800s, which was really shocking for me for these. And then it was on a stream that people were talking about it, and I went to go look. I'm like that one did really well for me. I went to go look. I'm like, it's gone. And I scroll, and I'm like, it's. So somehow I accidentally deleted. Probably one of those things where I should be sleeping. I'm trying to look at my phone, and I accidentally hit it. That's the only thing that I could think of. So
This is a weird coincidence. But Point Dread is what we used to call my ex's dad behind his back. It was because his head came to a point.
Once again, proving I'm not the meanest person here.
That's not mean. It's just dropping facts.
I paid $45 for it. All right.
Yeah, I paid the full price, but I also got one at Ross the other day for $14.99. I'm gonna do something with it. Make some sort of play set or some such.
But yeah, so that's my Point Dread story. I still don't understand how I accidentally deleted it. But now it makes me go, how many other videos have I deleted?
It's a Mandela effect, probably. Like in a different reality where like people watch you just
Nope.
for your Motu content, it's huge.
Nope, because people here saw it. People even go like, yeah, I remember seeing it. And I was like, see, I knew I did it.
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah, we'll figure something out.
We'll make it work.
Yeah, this was fun. And
A lot of fun.
I had a blast, and I had a blast seeing everything that everyone did. So, Allison, is there anything that you want to say before we wrap this up?
Bring out the olives. Oh, no, just watch my stuff, guys. Go watch my videos. They're good. You'll like them. And then on Sunday, I'm live streaming 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time with Cobweb Collector. We're going to color some Masters of the Universe. And then all of your viewers just left because I said Masters of the Universe.
You're like, just watch my stuff.
Just watch my stuff. I make a lot of stuff. Go watch it. There's something for everyone.
And as we leave, I'm going to do something that I normally don't do because there's another live stream going on right now. Head over to Toy Connections. They are revealing the Joe Fest exclusive right now. So,
You mean
Allison, no, Toy Connections.
Toy Connect? Oh,
They're
cool.
revealing their Joe Fest, the
wow.
Delta 17.
Excellent. Yep, go do that, guys. And then come back and watch my stuff.
Come back and watch Allison's stuff. Don't come to my channel because I ain't gonna have nothing to do on for a while.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be there for 3 hours on Monday. Why start that tonight after just almost, 2 hours with us tonight? So, yeah, go watch my stuff. And then 3 hours with Florence on Monday. And, yeah.
You guys know where to find me. You found me here. And you can find me again on Monday. So,
And you'll find him in your heart where he lives for always for all of us. We love you, Lawrence. You're like an olive to us.
I still don't get the olive thing, but
It's okay. Google Maury Povich and olives, and then you'll get it. You'll get it. Thank you, Rick.
All right, you guys have a wonderful night. I will catch you guys all over on Toy Connections because I know you're all going over there right now. Take care.
Later.